Well, it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and goblins. It's another Tea is Talking session. And we have with us tonight two amazing ministry gifts who are going to be very, very, very uncut tonight. So if you are looking for the pastor and the prophet and the minstrel, you're not going to find it on this show. I'm asking you to put your children up. Put them away. Put them children away. Put them children away. Cuz we didn't come to play tonight. This is a show focused on the battle of the sexes. And I know so many of y'all are up here because you are looking for some blood. You're looking for blood. These are some sharks tonight, guys. They're looking for blood in the water, but we love each other and there will be no cutting. But we will be cutting through, as Brother Boom said on the men's show, we're going to be cutting through some bull-loney. We're going to be cutting through some bull-loney tonight. We have a alpha male here in the Right Reverend Boomerton, Washington. And then we have an alpha female over here in the prophetess herself. That's So Raven. And so we are glad to have them tonight. And we're going to cut right to it. It was this conversation was sparked. Well, I wanted to have Boomer on last week, but we got kind of turned around. And I like when he's on because he's very honest in his perspective. And I think that a lot of times when people get on sometimes they are not honest, Miss Raven, because they don't want to mess up what they got going on. And I appreciate that about Boomer because he just brings it to you, and it's straight no chaser, and that's how we kind of prefer it around here. And so we're asking that if you're watching us so far, that you would share, like, and all whatever else you gotta do, subscribe, and all of these things here. Tonight we are going to be extending the conversation. I gotta find the Boom like to start trouble. I understand. I understand because we got a similar. Yeah, I mean he brought up a conversation that I think that women are in denial about. And I'm just going. People think I should be on the woman's side, but sometimes I jump sides because the truth is the light. Amen. And he posted, ladies, he said, for men, sex is something we aspire for. So why y'all be giving it up so fast? And then he knew that the frying pan and the hot grits was coming. And he said, talk nice to me. And so this sparked this conversation because I think that we just have issues when it comes to working together in relationships, and that's why they don't last. And so that's why you guys are here tonight. We're gonna clarify some things. That was a part of the conversation that we had last week because the topic was what men want. And I was nice. I let the men say what they wanted, and I was quiet, like the Bible says the women should be. I was quiet, and I let them be so great. And I was expecting more fire in the comment section, but the saints was kind of quiet in Zion. And so I think that women, we still struggle with what men want. And I think that it's good to have a man here to clarify for us. There are women that feel like giving it up fast because it's what he wants is something that will keep him. But Brother Boom said, nah, that's so help us, wherever y'all want to jump in. Let's just go for it tonight.
Yeah. You know, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward question. I really just want to know the different perspectives on why, women give it up fast. Because I know why men I know why men get up fast. I mean, I'm not saying that it's right,
Right.
but I definitely know why men give it up fast. So that's why I pose the question: why do women give it up fast? Because I'm not a woman. I will never know until a woman tells me.
So my thing is to you, is it the stage? Because you're in another stage of your life. I've watched your life, and I talked to you on a number of occasions saying, I text you all the time, Boom, I think you're an incredible father. I would like to be able to say Boom is an incredible husband eventually, but I haven't got a chance to watch that part yet. But is it the stage of life that you're in when you start to look and say, why did they give it up to me so fast? Because all my cousins around,
absolutely,
a lot of my cousins around my age are male, so I get why I have the perspective that I do. And so I have cousins that go, Tear, sometimes we try stuff out on y'all just to see if you're gonna go along with it, and then when you go along with it, we say, wow. I didn't know that was gonna work, but to God be the glory. It's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a good night. And so I think that a lot of women don't have that male in their life that's kind of telling them the game so they don't get got. And but I think women have to understand that, because even last week I said, one of my brothers said, well, Tear, we don't want women to think that we only want sex. I said, but you do.
Really don't.
He said, we do, but we don't want you to think it.
We don't. That's not, no, we don't only want sex.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's on our priority list, and it's very, very high.
Okay.
It's probably too high.
Okay.
But but that's not all we want. Absolutely not. We're not. No, we want everything women want for real. We want everything women want. We might want it in a different
order. Okay.
But we want everything women want. Like,
Yeah. And I would agree with that, Raven. I think you would agree with me. Like, as a church girl, we're taught not to prioritize being sexual.
Absolutely.
For church guys, they like, nah, we're gonna get all we can.
They push that. They promote us to, they promote us to, to consume.
Right.
So it's like, whoa, whereas they're trying to teach, the teaching is a little off to me, not to, it's a little off. It's like, you want to teach these women to be docile this way, you want to teach the men to be savages. It's like,
that ain't a good balance. Because that makes the women pray. That makes the women pray.
See,
right.
The thing that makes this conversation so interesting as far as Boom goes is with him being a musician.
Oh, God.
You're going to get all the females that want to give it up on the first day. Like, it's hard. It'll be harder for you to find that one that's going to hold out. That'll say, you know what? I'm not gonna sleep with him because I want to be different.
Well, yeah, they might. You might hold out, but you're gonna lose out.
Exactly, because there's
somebody. because you could be that one soprano that's holding out, but the whole section is saying yes, Lord.
The whole section, and Boom ain't showing you he ain't paying you no mind because he knows that he can go eeny, meeny, miny, moe tonight.
And I think that's why women give it up so easy, because they're trying. And then this is the worst part. Oh Lord. I told y'all my cousins are all male. And then he goes, the finer they are, Tear, the worse they are in bed. He like, you find them ugly ones?
You're not lying. You are not a lie. It is not a lie. Act too fine in that bed.
That's what he says. He said they don't want the hair sweated out. They don't want, he's like, you got to find an ugly one.
Yeah, they're the first men go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they act real, and they act accordingly. They know that they're the top pick, so they act accordingly. Whereas we'll go a couple numbers down. We might not get the number 10, and we'll go number 5, and we getting everything.
And she know how to cook, Boom. And the ugly one know how to cook because her mama told her she had to have more than one skill.
Exactly right. That's like right. The dark thing. Like we had to have the brains, we had to have the good teeth, we had to have all the other things because the dark skinned girls weren't the first choice.
No. Well, we making a comeback now, you know. We making a comeback. It's hard. It's hard out here being sexy. You know, it's hard.
It's quiet out here for the lights.
Listen. Come on here. They done found that dark berry.
Where the juice is sweet.
Come on here.
Right.
And the feast of the Lord is going on.
Your brother's absolutely right in saying, man, listen, the pretty girls, they act pretty, and they turn their nose up a little too far, and then next thing you know, we're looking at number 5, and it's like,
because we always, even when men cheat, the first thing we say when we talk to our girls is, why he like that ugly girl? He left me for that ugly girl. I'm here to tell y'all tonight, you was born in bed with your fast self because you gave it up quick and he found out that you ain't had no tricks.
Gave it up with no tricks.
Glory to God.
no trick.
We can't hear no amens out here. Oh God. That's a thing. Well, I didn't even know that was a thing till he was like, oh my God, why?
It's true with me. It make your focus different. You don't even focus on the pretty girl no more.
Wow.
You don't even focus on her no more. Yeah. And like you said, me being a musician, I think people get this impression of me, especially that I'm an aggressive. I'm aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really, really, really not.
Right.
I have a outgoing personality, but as far as obtaining sex, I really wasn't aggressive. So everything a woman I did with a woman, she invited me to.
I do understand that.
So all the wild things, I didn't have. I had too much respect as a church boy to be asking to do this, and so on.
Right.
But they
were the aggressors.
They were leaving. I'm a guy.
I ain't gonna turn it down now. I'm a man. Yeah.
So that's why I asked that question too. I'm like 80%.
Right.
I'm and the woman being the aggressor sexually, I'm like 80%.
Right.
So that's why I asked that question. That's why I know they give it up quick.
Right.
I know for a fact because that's been my 80% experience.
Well, boom, they are giving it up quick because they've been sitting on the mourner's bench waiting for Boaz.
Right.
Go ahead, Raven. She almost came out of herself. Go ahead. I'll have my cherry Coke.
So I'm at a different stage in my life as well. So now when men they come at me with that wanting it on the first night or trying to be easy thing. Now that's why I said, what if we want the fight? What if we want someone to what if we want to attain to something? Right?
Okay.
So that's in a different place and space in my mind and in my life right now. I've done the easy, quick, get it quick type of thing. I've done all of that. And especially in the church world, I think we feel like it's a safe space, opposed to being in the world and being a hoe. You know what I mean? Like it's just different.
Church hoeing is different than world hoeing. Yeah.
That's a really great perspective. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Being a church hoe is different, so you're not really called a hoe except amongst your little crew. And I mean, they talk, right. But I may be a hoe with the guys in Hartford. Then I might have me a little something in New York. Might have me a little piece in Bridgeport. So it's kind of hard for everybody to connect that way. You know what I mean? But you're still a hoe nonetheless.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, but at the same time, I think that the church does a poor job of helping people explore sexuality. And it's some like Boom was saying that they tell the boy to be the savage and tell the girl to be the nun. And that is just not going to work out. And then when you have women, and let's not call it whole tonight because let's switch gears just a little bit because free because I get in fights with all kinds of people. I get in fights with musicians. I get in fights with the gays. I get in fights with anybody because they just don't want to hear the truth of it. And let's just have the truth of it. Yeah. And we were talking about that. I'm apostolic, so the truth is always going to surface, even when it's myself. The truth is going to surface. I cannot sleep when the truth doesn't surface. And so when people are exploring their sexuality, it's you're going to sleep with a number of people in order to know what you like, and what you don't. And I think that in a certain space, because we ain't church, we ain't pastors and members and saints and friends right now, in a certain space that's healthy. I think for us to tell people to pray their sexuality away is kind of sick. Especially with when the person with the mic has a wife and a baby mama, or a boyfriend and a whatever.
They trying to holler at the praise worship leader over here on the side.
And that's not fair. It's not fair to those people who take the word of God serious and literal, and they mean that thing. It's not fair to them, because then they end up suppressing themselves, and then we get all of these mutations of sexuality that we see in church, and everybody is shocked. And I'm saying, how and why are you shocked? There should be no how and no why. And if we handle certain things with more care, we wouldn't have so many messes. If that's.
And to the question that Boom had posed the other day, why do women give it up so fast? Like there's a new liberation going on. Women are free, and women give it up fast because they want to. And sometimes we look at men like, you're just a conquest. You're just something that, oh, I wanted a taste of you. I wanted a taste of you.
Oh, Jesus.
And I wanted a taste of you.
Oh, Lord.
And if I be honest, there were people that I saw no future with. So for me, it wasn't gonna be nothing but, let's do this, and maybe next time if it's good enough, I'll call you again when I'm ready.
But you know what? That's a very male approach. But for women who have been denying themselves and been all kinds of abuse, it's only right that folks start coming into their own and saying, well, I want the same thing. I don't want you to stay tonight. Actually get up. Don't listen. Don't get comfortable. You got to go home.
For me, I posed the question because I just wanted to know the different perspective. I wasn't trying to poke or be funny or trying to, say one is better than the other. It's all,
You was just asking a question for understanding's sake.
As a leader, I shouldn't be coming into the gate wanting to have no sex as the leader of a man. Let's start it right there.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, that's what happened.
There have been times where I thought I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have gotten a couple times where I thought that if I did this, that's gonna make him like me. That's gonna make him want to wife me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you know what you're working with. Praise God.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and God always hits you with that line. We grown.
Right.
We grown.
Right.
I don't know what being grown got to do with anything. Y'all love that we grown stuff. So then I'm like, grown. I give it up on the first day, and then they looking at you like, why you give it up so fast?
Right.
Why you give it up so fast?
Right. That we grown is just to ease you into, well, we can do what we want to do. But after you do what you want to do, the ramifications is different for a man than it is for a woman. Because like Boom said, they're going to say he the stud and he the king because he got it. And then they're going to look at you like, oh, right. Right. And to be honest, like if we got together like dudes do and say, y'all in the car, I hit that and that too and that three. If we did that amongst women, we would judge each other differently than if Boom said, because first thing we start being like, well, what who raised you? It's a double standard. It's a double standard. Even for a single father who has kids and a single mother who has kids, it's still the playing field is still different in how it's perceived.
And they don't help us like help single fathers like they help single mothers or at all. Really.
They're probably shocked to hear there is a single father.
Yeah.
That's responsible and around.
That's rare.
Yeah. I think Fatherhood with Kevin Hart. I think he went to the parent. It said parent, but it was really all women. He went there and they were like, "Oh, this is for mothers." He said, "Too bad it says parent," so I'm sitting down.
Yeah. This is what you're gonna get. We do know that sex is especially once you know what you're working with. You know what I mean? When you know that thing do what it need to do, when it need to do, without fail.
Right.
And you've gotten nothing but rave reviews and 5 stars or at least 4 stars. You know, some people maybe stars depending on the day. But
I'm laughing because y'all know we hear these conversations, and it's funny to me because women snub me because I don't really get along with them, right? But I hang with all the dudes, so I'm like, I know your rating, so you need. I know your rating, so you need to smile at me.
You need to smile at me because I know what it smells like. What it don't.
What? I know. Can I really be frank? I know who sucks at giving head. Yep, me too. They ain't ready for us tonight. Okay. I be telling these women, y'all need to like me because I be advocating on your behalf. All right. Praise the Lord.
I was the one with all the musicians. And only one of them was my boyfriend. So let's clear the air right there.
So those girls can stop being mad.
Y'all can stop being mad, honey. I was trying to defend you behind doors.
Always trying to defend you. Always asking the guy, like, why don't you like her? Well, why don't you, y'all dating? Like, why don't you bring her around? I'm that girl. But then they try to play. Then they try to play me.
Right. And I'm like, I'm just a friend. I'm the sister. I'm the real sister, not the sister.
Come on here. All right, let me get into this. Oh, Lord, here they go. If they can't hear y'all well, I'm gonna turn y'all all the way up. They all the way.
I'm good.
We everywhere. We on Facebook.
I'm good.
All right. I think you're good. They probably are. I turned myself up so Raven could hear me. I'm gonna turn myself down a little bit so they can get the whole gist. So Raven sent me a meme. I'm gonna read it to you. And then we'll get your feedback on this one here. It says, I cheated on her last year. We made up and worked it out. Now she's currently cheating. Who's wrong?
Oh, I remember that. My boy, shout out to my boy Streisand. He had Streisand Joe I grew up with. Put it up and I put it on my page, just, get some questions.
Okay.
See what people's, answers would be.
Right.
I'm very curious because,
So here's my question, Boom.
I've been that guy.
I have a question on that, right? Have you ever had a girl cheat on you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure you've cheated on a girl or two, right? So a girl that you cheated on, if she stayed with you, right? How did that relationship go? And would you ever stay with somebody that cheated on you, or was it over after you found out? It's like, oh, it's a wrap.
I would stay, depending on the leadership in that relationship.
Okay.
How that goes. If now, in the instance where, because I've been in both instances, been cheated on, I've been the cheater cheating.
Okay.
So in the instance where I was the cheater initially, and I say, if I tell that girl that I'm done, I got to show that girl that I'm done.
Ah, okay.
There's a job that comes with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a proving of a point. That comes with that.
Okay.
Things don't just see men think, oh, you got caught cheating, she kept me, things go back to normal. No.
Mm-mm.
That is a misconception. There's a proving of a point that happens.
Okay.
And that proving of a point almost seems indefinite. You know what I'm saying? Because women don't want to, they don't never want to stop. They don't want to never stop beating a horse. You get what I'm saying?
You can't hear that?
So boom, I have a theory.
Okay.
And now, if we both gonna cheat, like you cheated, we're gonna have a little cheating season, and we're gonna come back together and work it out. Then that needs to be understood, right? You cheating, I'm cheating, not after the fact and like, oh my God, I had a flashback a year later, so now I'm gonna cheat. No, here's my theory. If I decide that I'm gonna stay with you through cheating, because I was married and I dealt with all of that, I am now saying that I'm agreeing to forgive, and I can't keep bringing it back up. by me staying in this relationship, I have made a decision and a commitment that I'm accepting. It's a healing process that has to happen. Don't get me wrong. But I'm agreeing that I'm staying and I can't keep throwing this stuff back up in your face every time I have a flashback. Because you're going to have flashbacks. If you decide to stay, you are going to have flashbacks. You're going to have moments of anger and resentment and all those things. But you've committed to staying in this relationship. So you have to agree that this is not something I get to just throw up at free will. You can't. Or else you might as well leave the relationship. So it's a decision that has to be made. Am I going to stay and work this out like for real? Or am I going to leave? Because I can't handle the emotions that are going to surface. Because they're going to come up. I hate when somebody's in a relationship and a year later, you know, they get in an argument, or 5 years later, they're like, but you did this and you did that. No, you knew I did that. And you decided to stay in this relationship with me. I think that's unfair. It's unfair. That happens a lot. If you're proving yourself and you committed to proving yourself that, you know, I'm going to work through this and baby, sorry. You got to say sorry a million times. Okay? But if you've committed to working it out and you're not cheating anymore, it's not fair for her to keep bringing it up.
Oh, Lord.
Or him. The men do it too. A woman cheats.
Men can't take those kinds of hits. We just cannot. Even with the consumption of me being having the plethora of women, men can't take that. I was a little different because I came into the game with my head screwed on. I knew I was going to be a whore. Right now. So I knew there was going to be casualties to that. So that's why, I knew I was going to win all the championships. But if I won most of them, I was good.
You said all of the championships?
Yeah. I didn't know. I came in with my head wired on. I was like, man,
no.
About 10 of them.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I came in with my head wired on. I was like, once I, got that musician power, because the musician power came late for me.
I can't.
I had never seen groupies like that before until, I had come up as a musician. Once I came up to that level where I get the groupies, it was on. Boom. So it was
we know how important sex is to y'all. We know how important it is. And I just feel like all the women are vying for that spot. Like, maybe I'll be the one to turn him out.
Right.
I want to turn him out. But this is from my perspective. Me and my girls, this is how we think. We trying to turn you out. We ain't going to be turned out. Ain't nobody turning us out. We going to turn you out. Okay? So I think that females, they want to see if they can be that one to kind of not just turn you out sexually, but ultimately win your heart. I think the sex is attached to really wanting more. In some cases. Sometimes it's like, well, I really want him. I really like him. I want to be the one to see if I could turn him out and then he ends up loving me, or if I'm the different one. Am I different than anybody that he's dealt with?
Is that a dumb thought for women to think that, Boom, or y'all ain't never gonna be turned out, or you just?
I don't think it's a dumb thought. No, I don't think it's dumb. Okay. No, it's just not timely for where we are, in that stage of life or where we are. You know what I mean? It just doesn't agree with where I am.
You shouldn't be trying that. It's once you get older and you're ready to settle down, then you can
try something like that.
Experience.
Right.
Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So boom. Now you try that, but the other Boom, it was like take a number.
Right.
Oh nah. Oh, young Boom Boom was crazy. Oh my God. Pro-Am Boom Boom. Pro-Am, the guy who played, I call that the Pro-Am level of playing, being a musician. The Pro-Am level, that guy was crazy. And it was easy. Like it was real, you and you. It was real easy.
Well,
everybody know about everybody.
The way that women have been taught. If more women had, first of all, men in their lives that were kind of telling them.
Oh, like, yeah.
I had a friend. Oh, actually, I had one of my members call me one time I was in the car with my god brother, and she was like, "Oh, Pastor, you know, my friend said his cousin died." I said, "Today on his birthday?" So my cousin in the car, like, "Oh, we killing cousins now." Oh, I see.
Exactly. You know what it is, sis.
Oh, we killing cousins. Oh, okay. And so you need that male in your life to say, "Now I don't try that stupid lie, girl. Don't fall for that."
Yep.
And I guess because, like I said, most of my cousins around my age are male, and now that we're older, you know, they know a lot of people too. So once I bring up a name, I'm all set. They're like, "Oh no, oh no, 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 no."
Yeah. Yep.
But I think that,
Yeah.
and we talked about this before, I think a little bit about having a male that covers you, whether it's a best friend, an uncle, a daddy, a cousin, because it's so, I think, and you can tell me if this is true or not, Boom. When you come to a door to pick up a woman or a girl at the time, and her father is sitting there looking like, "Son, don't play with my daughter." I think it gives you got as men a little bit more like, okay, she got somebody that's covering her.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus these girls that's out here, they grown, they think they know everything, they don't listen, and even if the girl is hot in the tail, it still make you think like, nah, because if this go wrong, and I don't feel like this with her father.
Oh,
Right.
So then we're going to a fathering issue, which would explain also why people are so loose sexually unnecessarily. Like some people are just loose sexually and they don't realize, like they're not doing it like maybe in the way we did it. Like I'm like a dude in my mind. Some of them are not going into it like that. They are just loose because that's all they know. That's what they feel like love or affection or attention is. That's where they feel like it'll come from by me giving.
Uh-oh, we lost her. I think that happens a lot too when the male in the family is not validating that daughter. You know,
Right.
And when
Is she back?
I don't know.
Sorry about that.
I don't see your
Are you
video
back?
though. I hear you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think it's important because again, us alpha females, you know, we're very strong and opinionated, and people think that we think we don't need men. We do. I need all of them actually, and
Mm-hmm.
we need your voice to be strong, and we need you to speak into our lives just the same way as you need a woman or a mother figure to speak into your life. So there's a balance, and I think that
Right.
especially because now you have 3 daughters.
Right.
So
3 daughters.
you ain't gonna get no sleep. You ain't.
Nah, it's funny as people think. It's like I'm more concerned about my son
Really?
than my daughters. Yeah.
Really? In what respect?
Yeah.
That he might get sucked in by all these old women wanting his.
Yeah. Right.
loins?
Right. I don't want him. I never wanted my boy to think what I did was what it
Supposed to be.
was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was what it was. So, you know, and I wanted him to be more accountable as a leader in his, you know, in his dealings with women, because, you know, as I grew up and I realized I'm a man, I'm the leader.
Right.
I'm asking her to date me. I'd be asking her dad for her hand in marriage, you know. So those are all leadership roles, and you're going in there with the wrong, you know, leading it wrong, it's gonna go down wrong, because I led all of my relationships wrong, all of them, because I came in.
Can I ask you
this?
You know, let me ask you this, because you're being candid. Was that from a lack of male instruction to you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because my peers, growing up, I'm from New Haven, and I grew up in the projects.
Mm-hmm.
So in those projects, they have, you know, men that are, you know,
the man.
They're experiencing sex, right? They're experiencing sex, and their relay to me is they're only a couple of years older than me with no guidance.
Right.
You know, they're 5 years older than me with no guidance, so they're pumping into me. This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, in order to be cool and accepted,
right,
the mass consumption was what it was.
So you got
So,
your
you know,
idea
that's
of masculinity was and everything from them. And
Right.
and even when I talked to Pastor Rob, he was very
That validated me.
open about the fact. He's like, Terry, anything I learned anything I learned about how to be a man, I kind of learned on my own. Because again, you
Right.
guys have very strong women in your life, but there's not a lot of strong men in your life. And sometimes
Right.
as women, we don't know that until we get older and we realize, oh, he was just a young boy finding his way. And look
Right.
at how you turned out finding your own way. Praise God. But how much stronger would you have been if there was a man in your life that really took interest and really groomed you into, this is finance, take care, how to take care of your household and that kind of thing.
Right.
I as women, I don't think we get that part that is missing because we're so busy looking for the husband, the leader. We're not looking at what some of your deficits might be.
Right. No. And that's on both accounts too, because excuse me, like we were saying, a lot of women aren't fathered. So
we don't know
I
how to handle
really
y'all.
believe.
We don't know how to handle
I
y'all.
really believe in my heart. I really believe in my heart that men search for the mother or lack thereof in women, and vice versa.
Yes, absolutely.
As simple as that. We're doing nothing but replace some roles.
We can't hear you, Raven. We can't hear you. What's going on over there? Hit your button.
Where we can't hear you.
Yeah. No? Loose here, Satan. Loose here. I don't know what's happening. Interview. She gonna come.
Can you hear me still?
Oh yeah, you sound great. I think that in an attempt to, women want to start families and they want to have, everything everybody else is. Are you there? Can you hear you?
Can you hear me?
Score.
Yes.
Let me tell you about this technology. So my phone is on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
But I allow for my favorites to come through. Oh. So that was my father trying to call me, So I just have to be honest. So that's what happened with my phone, okay? But I wanted to say, you have a broken man, and then you have broken females, and we try to navigate this thing the best way we can. And we always heard that sex is what it is. That's what they want. Yeah. And when you don't realize your own value, when you really don't realize your value and your worth, it's gonna take some navigating through life to figure it out. Now I know, listen, I am the entire package. I can turn men down in this season of my life. It ain't about waiting for he that findeth and oh my God, woe is me. No, now it's like, yeah, you found me, but I gotta agree with you though. Do I want you?
Yeah.
I wrote a post that we find people's wallets on the street. We find your wallet and your credit card. Guess what we have to do? We have to return it because it doesn't belong to us. So just because you found me doesn't mean that I belong to you. I may belong to somebody else. So I'm not sitting around waiting to be rescued anymore. You know what I'm saying? And when women when they learn their worth and they understand that we are so much more than just sex, then we're not sitting here just giving it up because that's all we really have to offer. Be honest, that's really all they have to offer.
A lot of women, that's all they have to offer. And it's like when you start telling people, if you're not selling anything, take it out the window. That the first thing they say is that's dated, that's old school, Ted. That's old fashioned. But it's like it's the truth. If you're not, and then it's only window dressing. What else do you have other than hips and tips? And what else? What else?
What else do you have?
Nothing. There's nothing else. And that's the messed up part, because you end up in a relationship with someone that is not right for you because it was all window dressing. Yep. And we were talking about the lack of conversation in relationships, because people have sex and then they get into the relationship and realize, I don't even like you.
I don't even like you. Right. I don't even know you. What's your middle name? What's your middle name? I tell dudes like, dang, can I learn your middle name before you be trying to you want to eat me like groceries, but then you talking about you don't want to be in a relationship. Well, you done did the most intimate thing possible, but you don't want to
the real marriage.
People share their body before they share their heart. Now that's a problem for me.
The problem. We'll have children with people, but we won't get married. You know when I'm 90 years old, you're still gonna be my mother and you're still gonna be my father at 90 years old, but you won't get married. Ain't no 18-year commitment. This is a forever.
It really is.
Is there a such thing as forever in relationships anymore? It seemed like a month, 5 weeks, a year, maybe. What's the shelf life of a relationship, y'all?
Marriages seem like they have a shelf life too. It's always like in the back of people's minds, like, well, if this doesn't work,
I can get out and get a newer model.
I can get a newer. My parents are still married. They've been married like my whole life. They were together since my mother was like 15, 14.
Yikes, that's a long time.
It's a long, good, bad, or indifferent. They're just committed at this stage of the game. They come from a different school of thought.
I think that if people look at it like love is a commitment and not a feeling, then it might be on something. What were you gonna say?
Yep.
It's like we're in this weird space, like almost. It's like we've like we want all of those things, the marriage, the picket fence, the da da da, boom, 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 but we really don't believe that's achievable.
I'm gonna agree with you.
We really don't believe
when
that.
I'm single and
we really don't believe that.
Ain't no way in the world I'm dating none of these people. I don't even know where they come
from. And people go into relationships with that. You know that. See, for me being a leader, there is no plan B for me.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
But the person that I'm with may not. They may be skeptical. Because things have happened in their life and then, throughout their relationships with other persons and stuff where they, they're skeptical. They're like, well, I don't, they're planning for, they're planning
communication. We're not having these honest conversations. Like I'll have to be honest. I just got out of I got out of a relationship some months ago, and I had to tell him that this does not look like what God promised me.
That's good.
Now I can stay with you hoping and wishing that you turn into somebody else, or in the back of my mind, I'm sitting here saying like, I wanted a man of God.
This ain't it.
I wanted somebody that understands musically. I want somebody that understands as my pastor calls it, my PMS, my prophetic mood swings. I want somebody that understands all of these things about me, but I just settled for you because of the season I was in my life of loneliness. A season where I took what I can get. Right. Not saying it was a bad person, but it just was not fit for where God had me to go. You know what I'm saying? So I think if we have these honest conversations, boom, like honest, like, listen, where do you see us in 10 years? Because the woman very well may
see us in 10 years.
Where do you see us in 10 years? Because she very well may tell you, boom, I think you might lose interest in me in 10 years. Because you've had filet mignon, the filet mignon of sex. So in 10 years, I feel like you may get tired of me. And if y'all have the honest conversation, that may be just a fear that may not even be warranted. You might be like, babe, I'm willing to explore some stuff. I done did everything, but there might be a few things I haven't tried. You know what I mean? Right. But I think with the honest conversations, you won't have a fear of walking into this marriage because we're kind of being really honest with each other. That's what I think.
Yeah, honest conversation, that's a tough one too. People don't want to have honest conversations because they're in their feelings. One thing I've learned about women is even if she's a whore, she don't want to hear that she's a whore.
Not from you. Not from you, boom. Not from you.
Nobody. From nobody. They can see with everybody in the room, but you bet not say I'm no hoe.
They just don't want to know it.
So it's like,
yeah. Most times, if you a hoe, you a hoe.
Pretty much.
In my head, that's weird.
You don't need the word of the Lord nobody has to tell you that you are in a hoe or are a hoe or in a hoe season. However we gonna call it, whatever we want to call it, because you may not be a hoe. You just may be exploring in this season. You know what I mean? After I got divorced, I did some things that I just never. Raven, I never imagined. Who, me? With the glasses? Because people think because I wear glasses, I think they think
you're innocent.
They think, I don't know what they think I am, but honey, baby, listen, baby. Okay, I've been anointed in a lot of areas of my life, and so
I'm not doing this with y'all tonight.
I'm being honest. I'm being so very honest. You know, Ooh, hallelujah.
Because people don't expect the women to be the predator.
They think you corny because you wear the glasses, huh?
Yeah.
I think they think it's the glasses. Boom. I think they think it's the glasses. Like she a church girl. Yeah, they don't expect it. They don't expect us to have taken the role of the same way men think. We're gonna beat you at this game before you beat us at it. Sometimes we get got and we fall in love and we be caught out, you know, but that doesn't happen very often.
It's the same for men. It just doesn't you know, we get away with a little, you know, there's a little more leniency with men, you know. So
yeah.
Same thing with men. We getting our feelings too. Yeah.
Men will tell all your business.
Yeah.
You got to keep your eye on them.
Yeah.
Man, listen.
There was a few people that I thought about talking to, but I was like, you know what? I can't talk too much. You know, somebody pressing me hard, and I'm like, I just can't, because I just feel like you just gonna run. It ain't about me sleeping with you or not, just period. Like I've been pretty low
because they're gonna run their mouth because you're a conquest.
Exactly. You too excited to be with me. Like all that excitement, I don't need all that excitement.
Yeah, I didn't think I was all that cute to be getting all that I got. I didn't think I was that cute. Was I right? You know what I'm saying?
You like
I didn't think I was that cute to be getting all
cute.
that.
I'm a little PYT a little bit, but you a little too excited for me. So all that excitement, you gonna want to run and tell somebody. You ain't gonna be able to keep it to yourself.
No. Right. Gotta tell somebody else.
Gotta run and tell somebody. Don't go tell nobody. So then what happens is here's my thinking too. I have to deal with people or someone who has just as much to lose as I do.
I did hear someone say that also.
I will not mess with. I don't want to pick a role, but you know I can't just mess with brother Jojo Bobo that don't got nothing to lose. You know what I mean?
Because bottom feeders.
Right.
Cannot deal with.
And they always want the ego. They always want the ego, but they aim too high. Some of these people, aiming too high. I would never.
My sister would say it's good they have self-esteem, but come on down here. You know, get out of here.
Yeah, I didn't struggle with that. I was getting laid back.
That's what happens when you have folk that they look for musicians, they look for preachers, they look for people that are in position. Again, it might be a fathering or a mothering issue because their esteem is low. And then after you give them the attention, they won't keep it because their esteem is still low. So you'll spend all your time trying to affirm to them that you love them or you care for them, and they still can't handle it.
Yep. And now they're bothered because of the attention that you get, you know.
And then you're always around light. And there's no dimming the light of anybody up here because the light is too bright.
The light is too. Everything's attracted to light. Mosquitoes are attracted to light. Yeah, everything is attracted to the light. I mean, you see my light. Guess what? They see my light too. Right. It wasn't a problem when you.
And I say this to bottom feeders. Yeah, listen. Let me help you, bottom feeders. Right?
Help the bottom feeders.
If the light gives you attention, then elevate. We're not coming down.
I'm not.
You need to elevate. You need to take the opportunity to walk higher. That's all I have to say there.
Come up. And it's not that we think of ourselves more highly than we ought to. It's just that I know I'm in a season where I now know who I am. And I can't afford to have my reputation ruined. I can't afford to have my good, evil spoken up. None of it. And some people, it is just a conquest. They see you like, boom, why do women give it up so fast? I gave it up fast because I wanted to say that I slept with Boom. Let me see what all the hoopla is about Boom. Right. What is it about Boom? That's really, 9 times out of 10, that's what's going on in a lot of these women's lives, in their minds.
And
They
that's
said.
and that's why he said it was so easy.
It was
That's
so
why they
easy.
told me.
Because they just was ripe for the pickings.
Then y'all had that whole little
Yeah.
circle of y'all, like all these brothers that play instruments, and it was just the whole crew of y'all, and
Pick
y'all
a
was
brother.
just taking them down. Y'all all was
We should
taking
have
the
had a
same
show. Pick
down.
a brother.
Pick a brother, and then pass the hoochie, pass her on to the
Yeah,
man.
we had a big grand scheme too. It was
They had a
it was awesome.
franchise.
Like it was great. It worked very well because we worked off of each other's personalities. We weren't very like I can count on my one hand how many women I've approached a strange woman I've never seen before, approached and asked, and begin to engage with her, and I don't have that
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 testimony,
sort of
that ain't your
confidence.
testimony. You didn't have
So
to.
what my friends, what we would do is we would, because none of us were like that, really. You know what I'm saying? But collectively, we were very, very strong, and because of they were interested on hello, it made things real, real easy
All
for
y'all had to do
my
was
boy to
show
be
up.
like,
Just show up and
yeah, my
stand.
boy be like,
They
yo,
standing off
she
somewhere
looking
being
at you like this.
brothers, and the
Yeah,
females is
she
just
looking
going
at you like
crazy.
this. Yep, she looking at you like this. She looking at you like that, and then that's how it would go. Just that simple. It was real bad. It's really bad.
I never forget we had a rehearsal. I won't say the names because y'all know these people. And there was a girl that would show up at our rehearsal because she wanted a particular dude. And of course, when she when she left, the musicians were talking like, and I said, "Oh, is that how you get one? Because I didn't know. You just show up at the rehearsal. Is that how
Yep.
I didn't know." And
Yes.
so I understand why it's so difficult for preachers and musicians sometimes to be able to live their best life because these women they just won't let you.
They won't let you.
It's like the Hawkins. They won't let you hold your peace.
They won't let you. And then you have Boom, who's in another season of his life. Like, yo, why y'all giving it up so fast? Like, Boom had an epiphany or something. Like, wait, what is all that about? Like, y'all it's ridiculous. Like, at this point, it's really just ridiculous.
It really is. But at the same time, we have confirmed that it's ridiculous at this point because of the way that we have been socialized. There's no other way around that. It's the way we've been socialized. We've been taught that you don't do this, and he's been taught you better do that. And it doesn't mesh up. And I hope that as the new preachers and leaders in church that we will be sensitive to that and give some attention to it. I'm always tickled when I see preachers or new preachers come out and everybody wants to be the pastor, and I'm like, there is so many ministries within a ministry that you can really rock, and the man cave, the young
church
women,
man. Listen, church got to stop. Church got to get broad. The church has to think broad. I don't think churches are open in churches to serve the community, a service to community. They're open in churches just to have church.
Yeah.
We're all done with that. That's a wash. That's a wash. The Lord has broken us down with this pandemic. That is a absolute wash. If we're not thinking of building a church to build community, there's no need for us to be having church like that. The community needs us.
Boom.
You get what I'm saying? And we have to
service the community. I'm sorry. I don't know how we can slide sexuality into the curriculum, the church curriculum, but it has to happen. We have all been sexually active, and for those of us that have been married,
not just talking about gay and no, that's not.
It's more than gay. Like us straight people that like to do it. Like, people like me who have been married. What do you do with that sex drive after you've been married? I was a live wire. Right. I mean, after you're able to get it when you want, how you want, if you want it or if you don't want it, it's still available. Right. Then you get divorced and now you like fornication. Like, wait, what? Whoa. Wait, what? Right. How did it turn from something great to fornication?
Even if you sleep with your husband that you just divorced.
Yeah, because that was happening too.
Yeah.
Praise the name of our Lord and Savior. Hello? Okay? That was always
because it's familiar.
Once mine always was mine.
Yeah,
So
you ain't trying to be no, you're not trying to add to your list at a certain age either. So, it's like, man, listen, I'm just going to get this familiar, stop playing with it, man, so I won't be.
Taught me all the tricks I know. So I'm like, let me give him a little phone call.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's fornication. Wait, how does this work, Lord? Is it what is this now? So it's so many lines, it's so many fine lines to all of this thing about how sexuality works. We are sexual beings, and from what we know as worshipers, God, the Levite, the worship leader, the worshiper. I mean, that's the highest form of worship from what we're taught. Like sex is the highest form. That's like the worship in the natural perspective, or however you want to call it. So especially after you come out of a high service and the glory of the Lord is like crazy, you want to come out and you want to, that's when you're so sexually.
I think what we're not taught as the ministry gifts is that you have to be sensual in order to be prophetic. You're going to be sensual because it has to do with the atmosphere, what I feel, what
senses. Yes.
Yeah. So even I used to say to a friend of mine, I'm like, it depending on when, you don't play Joe, because the same prophetic sensuality.
It's one of my favorites too, Joe.
Joe is my husband in my
Shouts
mind.
Shouts out to Joe. He's
so it's like
shout out to Joe.
That sensuality is the thing that sensitivity is the thing that makes you a good prophet.
Yes.
So and you even have to be careful in ministry applications, because just on an everyday, my sensuality or my sensitivity, just sitting with you, I can tap into your sensuality or your
absolutely.
And this is why we need more teaching, I think, on that, because people want to end up understanding why you kissing somebody in the mouth, because as a sensitive person, you've tapped into their sensitivity.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is when Raven talks about, she know what she's working with, it has tied into the prophetic anointing on her life, because it's that sensuality.
It is. I met a prophet, right? I was talking to a prophet some years and years ago, and he said to me, because he had seen me lead worship somewhere before I started dealing with him, which is why I don't. If they see me on engagements, I ain't even give you my number, because I ain't got time. But he told me, he said, I know you are a beast because of the way you worship. Boom! Come on, we're serious right now, Lawrence.
Nah, because I hear you, but go ahead, finish your story, because you're right.
Finish. He said, I know you are a beast because of the way you worship. I was like, that is blasphemy. I can't even believe this dude is really, I know we doing our thing, but you talking some wild stuff. I know exactly what he means now. When you are that intense a worshiper, and the way that you worship God, they know that you'll take your sexuality to any level. So I think I don't know if people do it understanding, like, oh my God, the way he plays the organ, y'all be doing all that grinding, especially boom. The way y'all do all that stuff, they like, oh my God.
That's why I laugh, because it's like, I didn't understand it as as a younger gentleman. They're like, yo, you look like, I'm like, yo, wow, and like I'm at
right.
Church.
You're not
what
being
doing?
sexual. I'm not trying to turn you on. I'm really in worship.
But as I grew up, it was like, yo, after church is when I wanted it the most.
Yeah.
Sex after church, at the high time, and that's at the high time at the temple.
The highest time, you like, oh my God,
I wanted
possessed?
to finish that thing off. Yeah.
Do I have spirits of lust in me? Like, am I about to manifest and vomit them
talk about the fact that you were operating in the Levitical anointing, which means you're open to everything that's in the congregation.
Everything.
And if if you don't know to close yourself off spiritually after you finish ministering, you are hit.
Right. And I didn't know that.
Right.
So I use that to my advantage.
Right. Absolutely.
And the text messages are coming through.
Even when the prophet said to her, "Oh, I sense if you are a prophet or sensitive at all, you tap into a lot of what people are.
Yes.
And so yes,
Good,
there
bad,
are
or
people
indifferent.
that use it intentionally. We
Yep.
have to just.
But he had a point that I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. And so, you know, naturally I want to marry a person that is a really intense worshiper. I really do, for multiple reasons. But there is a correlation. There's a correlation to that. Absolutely. And I was saying, like,
nobody teaches people these things when they trying to
No.
be the
No,
next
and that's
star.
the problem. That's the problem.
But
That's
you
a
know what?
huge problem.
It's a problem, Boom. But you know what? As an older singer, musician, retired, semi, folk got to be willing to listen and learn. We got folk in the musical scene today that ain't been under nary person that really carried a mantle. So
Nope.
they out here making bands, they out here making records, and they're opening themselves up in a way that they're not
A whole
even
bunch of
prepared
stuff.
for.
Whole bunch of
And
stuff.
then because of the mistakes that we've made, they sit around and talk about us and try to discredit you.
Yep.
But if they really would listen, they would hear this is where the stumble was, because we didn't realize it was really spiritual.
Oh, yes.
Right.
And now I know, no, you're not getting my number. No, I'm not coming to do praise and worship for you because you're married. Have your wife come contact me. Because then they think, oh God, I can't even, boom, just the same. It happens to us too. You know, the offers that I've gotten have been absolutely insane. So no, I'm not coming to do praise and worship for you. No, I don't care if you're full of lust. Okay. And some of these people, they don't mean no good to us too. That's why I said, for me, what if I want to attain to something? These men are so easy. They see a little gift or a little anointing and they just crazy. They go absolutely crazy. And I'm sick of it too.
I think that these are necessary conversations. And a lot of times people aren't interested unless you have a big name or you're the hottest thing. I think we have to be careful moving forward that we put these little tidbits in people's ear. Young musicians and even pastors. I see. I tell people all the time, people become a pastor by calling, but some become pastors by vocation. It's a job.
Yeah.
And
right, a lot of that. That's a lot of that.
Know the distinction
between
the two, and you have to be aware of that when you start, ministering and learning how to minister under people, and when all of these spirits come to confront you, if you really shouldn't be a musician at a church if you don't go to Bible study and prayer, because you need it the most. You're the front line. Musicians are in church probably more than the preacher.
Not understanding that, but you're right.
Yeah. On the back side of it, on the back side, we understand. Looking back, it's 2020, but it's these conversations need to be had, and I wish that more people would be open to having them and listening and gleaning, because it's necessary. It really is.
I pray that we get to do this panel in person and rent a space or have a space where people like our age or even younger will come and really sit and glean and ask the different questions, that the hard questions, because they may want to ask a Boom, like, what am I doing wrong here? You know what I mean? What can I do differently? Or ask me from a person who has traveled and I've hung with the guys. You know what I mean? I've hung with the musicians. Like I said, I was the one that got to go out to eat. And what am I doing wrong here? And hang with them. They wanted me around for that female energy. You know what I mean? And they trusted me, and I knew everything. I had one that took me under his wing. Like, no, this is what you're not going to do. Because no. Say just like your brother. Yeah.
Having female friends, you consume more when you have female friends as a man. A lot of men don't know this tidbit. But when you got some homegirls, like true homegirls that you weren't attracted to, you just you're really, really friends, and you develop a friendship, you get more women that way.
Yes.
Yeah, because you know our vulnerabilities, just like for
and y'all ain't telling, and y'all not gonna tell. Your relationship is airtight.
Yeah.
I don't tell.
No.
Y'all
They
might
try
look
to
at him like
pressure.
she fool, but y'all ain't telling.
Right.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
we're not about that.
Shouts out Ashley Smith. I love you.
Ash, I love you. Is she on? I can't see
Well,
anything.
you know, if she sees this, I love her. That was my dog.
Yep. And Eric Davis, that's my brother Eric. I love you. He's married now. He's a wonderful, wonderful husband. Eric taught me everything.
Yep.
I love you, Eric. Shout out to
We
Eric
do.
Davis.
You gotta have it. You gotta have these people, because if not,
Yeah, you
you'll be
gotta
making
have
a
that. You
mess.
gotta have that homeboy or that homegirl that's gonna tell you. You gotta have that opposite sex that's gonna tell you, nah, dog. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
nah.
So you gotta have somebody that's like, they made that up.
Right, right.
Yeah,
They made that up.
they made that up. Like,
Right.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
this is so
don't do
important.
that.
It's so I can't believe we the old people now. I can't believe we the ones giving out relationship advice. Been there, done that, all of it. Preachers, pastors, deacons, saints, friends, all of them.
Got the t-shirt,
All of them.
right?
You know, like you said, the women came into the rehearsal. I knew how when they came around, like just like a panting little dog. Like, what you want? You like, I know what it is. Oh, can you come sing for me? That's how it starts off. Always, can you come sing for me?
It's funny.
Then,
we had a musician play for us a couple of weeks ago because our musician was out of town, and he said to my sister, "Oh, will you come to my church and do praise and worship?" And you know, she's kind of cranky, so that didn't go well.
Sonetta is a mess. That's my girl.
She's a little cranky. So when she told me he said that, I said, Sonette, I think he was trying to hit on you. You just being evil.
Good. Her evil has worked for her. Good.
She was like, I ain't going to sing at nobody at church. I said, oh. I said, I think he was trying to pick you up.
I think I was I'm smiling and I'm like, okay, I'll come. What's your number?
Child. She tore him up. She wasn't going to sing no. I said, why
I love
are you so evil?
Cause that's why. She knew what it was. She knew what it was. Now I be a little snappy with people and they like, oh, you so no, I'm not. I'm just not too sweet no more. Cause y'all take that sweetness and y'all just get carried away with it. No. All that's and I'm genuinely sweet. I'm genuinely a kind person.
Right.
You know, right. And then they just ease right in there. You're like, no, bro, come on.
I know. Yeah, it's not easy out here for the people.
Nah, it's hard out here.
It's hard out here. But I think that both sides have to be a little bit more mature. And I think that you have to be honest about what you're after. And I say this, from a woman's perspective to men, if sex is all you want, say it. Because there's some women that sex is all they want.
Right.
I might be in the season where all I want is sex.
Yeah, if you want a relationship, say it. If you want to get to know a person, say it. Just be upfront, and then nobody's hurt. The men don't want to be hurt. Women don't want to be hurt. And God knows we don't want the children hurt because they grow up to be adults that's all broken up.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's be a little bit more honest in what we're coming to the table for.
I've said, I'm just trying to see something.
Yeah.
Like everything ain't always let's be in a relationship, let's get married. It's if you're in that season, be honest. Like I just feel like if everybody were just honest, back to our original question, why y'all giving it up so fast? You're gonna get 5 different answers, a whole bunch of different answers. 1 is because I just want to.
Right.
2 is because I'm trying to see something. The other one is I'm trying to see if we're gonna be together, which that ain't, that's not the best way to get nobody. It's worked for somebody before, but
it works.
It works depending on the situation because we've heard
all of that works. I mean, because people working it, whores are getting married. That's what they say. They say the hoes is getting picked up.
The mourners bench that T was talking about. We still in waiting. Boaz.
Yeah. The hoes is getting picked up.
And we abstinent. We like, wait, the abstinent station ain't working.
So you telling me they turning hoes into
housewives? Ain't bad. Yeah. People that saying is off. That's a lie. You can't turn a
You
home into a hoe into a housewife. That's not true.
You can't.
you can't
That is not true.
Oh,
because they want to freak.
You
They
must
want to
have
freak in the sheets. They gonna just teach them how to be a lady in the streets. They got the freak part down. Like boom, I got that. Now let me see. Can you cook? If you
teaching them to
can't
be
cook,
a
I can
hoe is
teach you how to
hard.
cook. Yeah,
Teaching them to be a hoe is hard.
yeah. The whole part is hard. That's a
That is
practice.
hard.
I'm
in with that.
sorry.
We
The
good.
hoeing part is hard. You can learn how to cook and clean.
You can.
Yeah, right. That's easier.
Come on,
That
boom.
sounds like what my cousin was saying. He was like, I've
It's
had
real.
them that could cook and clean. They just wasn't good at to be in the hoe.
Exactly.
And now you got to get rid of her.
So you marrying that wholesome one that only can
You
cook
gotta
and
get
clean.
rid of her, boom.
What you gonna do?
You can't teach her how to be a hoe.
No. Nah. Especially if I'm in the twilight of my career. I ain't got time right now.
Oh.
I'm at the prime too,
Absolutely.
so he got to come because it's
They
about
gotta
that
find
time.
somebody else for practice on and then come to you.
Exactly. What?
Listen,
I don't want no virgin.
No.
Don't.
I
Jesus,
don't know.
Father,
This is
do not.
This is a hot subject here. I'm sweating.
You sweating?
Yeah,
Hear my humble cry, Lord. Listen.
So no amateurs at this stage. No amateurs. No.
No.
Oh.
No.
No.
Not for
I can
boom
teach you what I like.
No.
I can tell you. You can
Well,
learn
you
what
always have
I
to teach
like
them how to
in
love
particular.
you, but you say no amateurs.
No. I can't do nothing with no amateur.
Oh.
I got 2 kids. I've been married.
I'm gonna be hot. Yeah, I'm gonna be hot. You coming here not doing what you.
Boom saying he gonna have an attitude.
Nah, you got to go. I don't know what to tell you.
Gonna have to
What
do
I'm gonna do?
something
Boom,
preaching
like,
if
what
you
I'm gonna do
come
with
in
this?
cold with Boom because he done told you the wrong thing.
Listen.
Man, listen. They said that is a lie. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. That is a lie.
Greatest
And
lie.
it is being done. It is being done.
Okay. I did not know these
It
things.
is happening. Yes, it is happening. People ain't saying nothing, but it's happening. Everybody's mad at them hoes.
Boom. On the flip side, us women, we act like, oh, we don't want a man that's been around and we don't want a man that's done this and that. Now, from a woman's perspective, don't come over here and stuff don't work. You got to take a pill. You gotta go to the gym before the blood gonna circulate, or you just don't know what you're doing and no. Sorry, T. No.
Yeah. Gotta be on your A game.
Let the church say amen.
I need somebody blessed and highly favored in that department.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Raven, and you can say no comment. Does size matter?
My
brother says no, but I don't know.
I would like to say girth matters.
You said no?
My little brother.
Oh, it matters because if you ain't hitting no wall, if you ain't hitting no spot, no walls, what are we doing? What are we? No, it matters. I mean, but there's nothing you can do about size. So what you'll need to do is learn angles. But again, I'm not teaching you none of that. Geometry. So if you know that you don't have the right size, you need to know your angles.
You got to work your program.
You got to work.
Whatever program you got, you got to work.
I'm not teaching you angles. If you know that you already don't have much to work with at this stage, because I'm in the 40 plus stage now. So these men should know I don't have a lot to work with, but I know how to work what I got.
Right.
Not me sitting there like, well, are you in yet?
Okay, hold on.
My
mother's watching this.
You got to know.
Sorry, Mom.
You got to know.
I'm just messing with you. She probably ain't paying us no mind.
You got to know your finish.
My mother ain't watching. Mom, say.
She said, I hope my mother ain't watching this. Okay, so I got another question for y'all. Y'all ready? Let's see.
I think so.
Let's see how I can say this in the most. Oh, Lord, she done deleted herself. Where'd she go, Lord? Come back here. Come back here, Raven. Don't you run now. It's too late. So let's see. Since I got you all by yourself, Raven, you probably gonna have to come out and come back in. I don't know what you did. You muted yourself, or you got a call maybe. So one of my cousins told me that if a woman don't know how to pleasure him
Read.
her stay is short also. I mean, do
Yeah.
women get put out if they don't know that kind of stuff there?
Yeah. Yeah, gotta let you
That's
go.
bad too. Y'all really want these women to be, y'all really want them to be horrors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
she disappeared. Come on back here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You got. Yeah, man. We'll show you your exit if it ain't right. Absolutely.
So how
I'm sorry, you guys. I missed the question. So what I did was I changed my settings that my
Okay.
favorites can't even get through
okay.
on Do Not Disturb now because the Saints are calling. Okay.
What about
Her question.
we'll
question
say
was
this.
about oral
Oh,
sex.
yeah, thank you for saying
She
it
was
for me. Yes.
if a woman doesn't give a man oral sex properly, she's done. And yes, she absolutely is.
What do you say for the women's side of that?
Absolutely. I mean, because
Oh.
what you won't do, somebody else will,
Oh.
and very
And you
well.
got to be good at it.
You gotta be.
Yeah, you got to be good.
And the thing about being good at it is really this. It's really all about being selfless.
Okay.
When you
That's the
like,
whole
I'm gonna take it.
thing.
I'm
It's not
like
about
so that
you,
we're not just
bro.
focused on the sex part of it. When you love someone and you're into someone, not even love, but when you're into someone, you will go to any length to please them. So if it means figuring it out, they're gonna tell you what they like and what they don't like. Because what may work for one person, even in that area, may not work for the next person. They like, go slower. That's too much.
Y'all gonna break
You know what I
down
mean?
people for anything. They can't have sex right. They can't have oral sex right. They can't cook. They can't clean. And no wonder so many
Got to go.
people.
But we're making it difficult. We're making it more difficult than it needs to be. If you're selfless, if you will do exactly what you want done to yourself, or in being as selfless as you are with yourself,
I'm listening.
It'll work. Because even if you're not being selfish, and let's say you don't know what they like, and you're trying to do the best you can, praise God, you're doing the best you can. They're gonna tell you what they like.
That's what
before they discard you. But if they keep telling you what they like, and you just either, oh, this nasty, oh God, Jesus, the blood, okay, you're gonna the blood yourself right out of this situation.
You will get cheated on. I know that part.
You will get cheated on.
I've been the pickup car for the people that get cheated on when they don't know how to do none of these things.
I've been the pickup car. I've been the cleanup woman. I'm
the getaway car.
I thank God for grace. I've been all of the above, so I know that what you won't do, someone else will. And now you don't have to walk around with that fear of like, oh my God, let me be flipped upside down. No, you don't have to do things that make you uncomfortable. But again, conversation.
I have a question. So if you have serious intentions on marrying somebody, do you sleep with them beforehand, or you wait and find out they can't do none of these things?
Only because of the way things have been going, which is not right, because this is not what the Lord wants for us. The Lord wanted us to all meet each other for the first time and have sex with each other for the first time.
Because
he
knew that if you had a video vixen and you ended up with me, he knew it was going to be a problem.
You know what I'm saying? But with the way that things go,
yes,
yeah, you gotta try that product out.
Oh Lord!
I mean, this, I just got affirmed today. So
now let's say this right here. It ain't biblical, but we just talking about how things have been.
Right.
It ain't biblical.
What it is.
Yeah.
So I just got affirmed today. So I don't know who's watching, but effective yesterday, my answer would have been that I needed to test the waters, because again, at this certain age of 40 plus, I'm seeing that people's stuff, it ain't working right. The blood don't
Mhm.
circulate. They got diabetes and hypertension and heart issues
Mhm.
that they ain't got medication
Way
for.
authenticated.
So stuff ain't working the way that it's supposed to be working.
So that you
So
got to
I would
you
hate.
got to take
I
better
would
care
hate.
of yourself.
You got to take. It's now we see. This is me. I'm a nurse, so I like to look at the total person. What are you doing? What are you doing
Mhm.
about your health? Because I understand that it's not getting up on demand. Now, what are you doing about that? Because there's help for that. So I would hate to marry someone after we save, sanctify, speaking in tongues. You know, we in the third heavens every day, and then I marry you
No good.
and it's whack.
Okay. So
Or it
Raven
don't
is
work.
that he's usually approached by people. So he wouldn't be able to really tell us if that's annoying or not because that's been his testimony. He's always been approached. But how weird is it? And how aggressive has a woman been to get you? That's what the question is. How aggressive was she
I'm
buying you
80%.
things? Huh?
I'm 80%. I got it on the first night, and I'm not aggressive. That's how aggressive they was.
Oh, so they was like,
They
hello.
went
Did you
all
know them?
oh God, not so much.
So she just told you it. She told you what she wanted, or she was just like,
She went and got that.
oh.
They go get it, and I don't stop them.
I get you. And so Raven is saying she's got Chester molester that's being very aggressive with her, and she's like, nah, I'm not feeling that. That's weird
Now
because
you know what it's all about.
Men
I
are
think
the
that's weird
are the
too.
aggressors and women are the docile ones, but we don't have that right here. That's interesting.
Now I've been aggressive and I've been the aggressor and I've gotten what I wanted as well. You know what I mean? So I've it's been both ways, but now it's just I'm in a different season where I don't have to look for anyone. I don't see anybody that I want to approach and do that. There's no one.
Right.
So I'm just in waiting right now. And but those that do approach me, you know, some of them not interested.
Okay.
So it's got to be more than sex. So that's why I said my question is, why are you trying to give it up on the first night? Because now it's something different. I need to know that on the days we can't have sex or when sex is not at the forefront of on our schedule wise, work wise, and church wise, we may not have the time for it. I need to know that there's something more that we have than just the sexual connection. Conversation. If we got to take a ride to Raleigh because I got to preach in Raleigh, or you got to preach, or you got to play wherever, we need to be able to talk the 10 hours
Right.
and have something to talk about,
right.
And laugh, and do karaoke in the car, and everything else, opposed to all we really connect on is this great sex.
So again, when we meet people that we are attracted to, because the attraction is always the thing that brings you together, there needs to be more honesty and there needs to be more conversation about what we're doing.
I think if people were more honest, like I tell guys now, what are you looking for? Well, I'm not looking for anything right now, but I'm waiting for the man that God has for me. And I'm not settling. I'm not even in a play around season. Like I'm not dating. I don't want to go out to eat. I don't want to do a whole bunch of this. I'd be tired after work. So
we older, Raven. We older now. We look
older.
But here's the thing. Here's my question then. So so even if you're not looking, is it okay to be dating with benefits? Or should we be just intentional about, I want to get to know you, but I don't want anything further? Like how do you get a person to come out of their house so you can get to know them?
Well, first it's gonna start with conversation on the phone. Like people be wanting to meet up with me the first day, like, oh my God, you're so pretty, let's go out. No. First of all, I need to see if you are worth my time. So I just don't have a whole lot of time or energy. I'm so intentional in this season and for the rest of my life. And I think that's why I'm so free in talking about my sexual conquests and everything that I've been through and dealt with, You know, because I've been on the music scene. You know, y'all know I've been on the music scene a long time, since I was 16 years old, and I'm almost 41 now. So, you know, I've been around. I've seen a lot.
I think this word right here is so important. I'm gonna make it real big.
Intentional.
You got to be. I was telling our church today, you got to be intentional about everything. You got to be intentional about how you want to show up in the world. You have to be intentional about how you want to be perceived. You got to be intentional about who you spend your time with. You got to be
Yep.
intentional about where you hang out. Everything has to have purpose.
So how do you get me out of my house?
Yeah.
I'm intentional about who I'm talking to, dating. If I see red flags and just off the rip, I just don't really like you, because I mean I may not like you on the first conversation and be like, dang, he had a bad day. But I'm getting good at this thing now.
Right.
I'm getting good at this now. I know what I like and what I don't like.
Got you.
If you ain't got nothing to do but ask me how am I doing and how was my day, or you sitting here looking at me on FaceTime just telling me I'm beautiful 5,000 times, I do know I'm beautiful. I'm not gonna sit here in front. I'm beautiful, but come on now. I ain't all that. Enough.
Right.
You got to have something else.
What else?
What else we talking about after I'm
beautiful? Has to
beautiful?
be deeper.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Intention. What are we doing this for? Because if you don't line up with the purpose that God has for me, I can't be with you anyway.
How important is it to be friends first?
Very important. Extremely important, because at the end of the day, I think in a marriage, that's the most long-standing thing, because sex can run out, because, you know, you might need a pill, you may need it, you know what I mean, whatever.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Good, bad, you know, health and different things like that. So friendship is the most outlasting thing in that.
Yep.
And me, I'm not gonna lie, I've had a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have a friend, I don't have friends. I have lots of friends. You guys are my friends.
Yep.
And we have been for a long time.
Right.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I've had great, you know, attachments and friendships. And if I can bring that into my marriage,
oh my God, that would be like the perfect.
The way I laugh with y'all, and the way we do, and the way we enjoy music and all of those things. I'm just talking about with the two of you.
Right.
The things that we enjoy. If I can bring that into a marriage,
now add the erotic side and the that other side of it. It's like, oh my God, you are perfect. But when they get uptight, they get uptight when it's like when they feelings start getting involved. And oh, you can't. But we all three of us have to be with a very secure person.
Yeah, because
we're very anybody insecure. No insecure people.
That would be a chore. My God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk to people. I'm gonna laugh and joke. I'm gonna be hugging and kissing on everybody because that's just who I am. I don't mean nothing by it. I'm not sleeping with them. If I'm with you,
my lady lets me work. She know I can work a room, and she's not that type. She's not, really, she ain't working no room. She's nice, but she don't work a room. And because I can work a room, that doesn't intimidate her. And because I can work a room and being who I've been,
yep,
that doesn't intimidate. She's very, very secure in herself.
You could say no comment if you like, boom, and you could say no comment. This is a question that I probably would have asked you if I saw you on the porch. How do you keep all your baby mamas seem to be friends? How did you do that?
Oh man, you can't have sex with them.
Okay.
You don't have sex with your baby mothers.
Okay.
You do your job.
Okay.
Yep.
You do your job. I know how to do my job.
Okay.
So you do your job. You cannot sleep with your baby mothers under no circumstances. You can't play that game at all.
Because it makes it messy.
All.
Got you.
At all. You cannot play that game. If you're there doing your job.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he probably has a call or something too. Yep.
Unmute yourself.
I agree with that. I agree.
Let's see. Uh-oh, I think his the call messed him up.
Yeah, he might have to hang up and come back on.
Yeah. Yeah, but
this is such a great.
That's good right there because
that's good.
It's interesting, and I won't say no names because y'all might know these people, but I have some girlfriends that I grew up with, and things. And I'm like, but your kid is 24. Why are you still sleeping with your baby daddy? He got a wife. What you doing? What we doing? And I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want to be messy. But
Listen,
but I think that familiarity, and I think that oh, here he is. And I think that that's good what he's saying. Like, it makes it real messy, and then the baby mamas is all mad at each other because they trying to still be the wife, and that's
yeah,
unfortunate. And that's again, when you watch things like that, when you go, oh my God, how do they all get along? And
yeah.
everybody's
I have to agree with that. If that emotional, like whatever you don't water,
it won't grow.
dies.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's so
Whatever
true.
you don't water, whatever you don't water won't grow. So if you're not watering that relationship by means of sex, then that part of you two's relationship will die.
Mm.
You know what I mean? As long as you're continuing to water that, those emotions are wild.
No
They are like a
flirting, no
wildfire.
nothing. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah, you can't.
wildfire. They can't even. You can't.
Mm.
They, they can't separate the two. It becomes like you can't separate it.
I was
Me
just
being a leader and me recognizing my leadership
Mhm.
early, as far as my children, even if I didn't know nothing else, I recognized my leadership with my children early,
Mm-hmm.
and staying focused on my leadership to my children. Man, listen, my kids' mothers, because I'm doing my job.
Right. Got you.
I'm doing my job, and that's all it is. He's doing his job.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that makes the camaraderie with them wanting to bring my kids together even easier, because I'm doing my job. So why wouldn't they want to, have their kids have a camaraderie with one another with
Yeah.
their father?
Got you.
Yeah.
So
Got you. That's sweet. That's sweet.
so I never had boom, you ain't never had no I've never had no problems, because like I said, I came into that game wired. I
Right.
knew I was a whore, and I knew I was gonna be a great father.
Right.
Yeah.
And being a father took precedence over me whoring. So listen, honey, you can't come tonight because I got my kids.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And that's truly being a single father. And we wish that we have had more of that, because a lot of times when the guy is not with the girl anymore, he's not with the kids anymore, and that
Yeah.
ain't cool.
No, you're right, and that's not cool. And I see a lot of that, and I blame the men
Yeah.
in that,
Yeah.
because men fight for whatever they want,
Right.
and I
Yeah.
feel like your children are enough to fight for. Whatever my kid's mother would have brought, come what may, I was gonna fight for my children and my position in that.
Got
I
you.
was,
Mhm.
I wasn't backing down, because guys, they shoot up the street and do a whole bunch of different things for wrong reasons. So that same bravado and fight you can bring, you
Your
know,
family.
into
Yes.
being your father to your children. So
Absolutely.
that,
Boom, you are
you
truly
know,
an inspiration. You are
I,
so
I mean,
inspirational.
if I didn't do nothing
I've
else
had a
right,
front and back row seat
Yeah.
on your
if I
fathering.
didn't do nothing right, I tried to be,
A good father.
my father. Yeah, that's me. That's all I got. Like that's my claim to fame. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't, like,
it is. It is.
so
Your music comes after that, and you're a great
yeah,
musician, but your
it at
fathering,
all. I'm not even concerned. Not as far as me being a father. It's no comparison. Yeah, so I kept that always at the forefront, and I never wanted to mess that up and damage it more than I already had by having children out of wedlock.
Right.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah, I see you on that. I see you on that.
So
And it's just more things that you wish that people were privy to. That's all. Because Raven is talking about her parents being married over 40 years. That's We don't even hear that anymore.
nah,
unheard of,
And
no.
I get
unheard of.
when people in
I do
general.
not believe that marriage is hard.
Right.
I do
Yeah,
not believe that. Everything that everybody says about marriage, I do not believe that that's what it is. And I don't, me being a leader as a man, a leader of a man at this point in my life, all that, I'm like, nah, like, a lot of that stuff is foolishness for real.
If you
You know
it's
what I
not
mean?
hard.
again, if you're a man and you're intentional, you know what you're getting in the woman that you're picking, and y'all are teammates. The rest is history.
The rest is history.
We make it difficult because we don't want to be.
Yeah.
We want to be.
We make
all
a
over the
whole
place,
bunch of things difficult.
and we ain't
We
solid.
make a whole.
That's what makes it hard. When one is solid and one is not, it just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Camaraderie in marriages.
Say it again.
That's what it is. Camaraderie in marriages. That's what we're missing. There's not enough camaraderie.
Yep.
Too much thought about everything else. Money, bills, sex.
Nope.
Nah, man. Camaraderie, man. You got a camaraderie with somebody you can build.
Because, like I said on the offset, a lot of times we think love is a feeling, love is a commitment.
Right.
And you got to make sure when you start trying to commit that you got something in the bag that's worth committing to.
Absolutely. Like this go around, me being a person who was divorced, I'm not going in blindly for love this time. Yeah. I'm getting older. My priorities and my thought processes have completely changed. Like I say, I can't marry a Build-A-Bear. I don't have the energy for any science projects, and I cannot marry potential, because you may never meet your potential. You may never reach your potential. I'm seeing all this great stuff inside of you, and you may never get there. And now I'm stuck with you.
It's two sucky parts about that, Raven. One, you're a prophet, so you're gonna always see the potential in people. And two, you're a woman, and you're gonna always want to nurture that potential. So it's a double suck.
That's where I've been. So that's been my life. My life has been the sum total of my relationships. I always seem to attract these fixer-uppers.
Broken birds.
These broken birds. These Mr. Potato Heads in his bucket of parts.
Yeah. I used to be that guy.
I attract
I used
these
to
people.
be that. I used to be him. I used to be that guy. So I definitely understand the Build-A-Bear. You tell one sob story, or they see where you came from, or they don't let them meet you half the other side of the family. They're like, oh my God, I get it now. Wow. And now I want to fix you up, and I want to help you at the expense of me.
Wow. That's good. So, okay, we're gonna wrap this up because I got to eat the rest of this Kentucky Fried Chicken. So you said a lot just now about being on the other side of marriage. You've been divorced. What do you wish you knew going in?
Going in, I wish I had followed the voice of God.
No God stuff.
Well, no God. Okay,
no
skip
God.
I wish I had not ignored the red flags.
Got you.
Let's not spiritualize it.
Yeah.
Let's just go to that innate thing that he gives us.
Yes.
It's innate.
Okay.
So if you see,
when did the red flags start? Before you got married or after you were in?
The red flag started before I was married, and that pertains to like the cheating part of it, because it was so much more. But I will focus on the cheating part.
Okay.
Beforehand.
Okay.
And just even the instability that I saw.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, maybe if I give him a stable home, and maybe if I give him love and I fix him up, and all these things, he'll be okay, because all he really needs
is love.
Is a stable.
Come on, love.
Stable home filled with love.
Everybody.
Filled with peace. But for some people, when they're not used to peace and they're not used to love, there's the chaos.
Right.
So they now have to recreate a chaotic environment in order for them to feel comfortable.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. I ignored red flags. The red flags don't turn pink and then white. They don't go away. They end up screaming at you and suffocating you. So I would say, if the Lord is showing you red flags, because now I ask the Lord, as soon as I meet a guy that I think I like, I ask him. And when I tell you within 24 to 48 hours, the Lord just mysteriously makes them evaporate, because
they lose interest.
They lose interest. They just ghost me. And it's okay, because I pray. And I'm like, God, I can't afford, I don't have a year. I don't have 6 months. I don't have 5 years to waste on any situation. Anybody. I don't have it. Yeah. And if you ask him, and not to spiritualize it, but he said, you acknowledge me in all your ways, I'll direct your path.
I'll direct you.
So if you want to know if this person is good for you, because you don't know him, you only know what he's showing you today. Right. But if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you what you need to know real quick.
Well, you can verbalize what people need to know quicker when you know yourself better.
Right. Definitely.
And so
Yeah.
I think a
Definitely.
lot of times when you're younger, you get into relationships and you don't know
Mm-hmm.
you.
You don't know you.
Right.
And then
That was definitely me.
you get into a relationship with somebody that don't know them,
Mm-hmm.
and both of y'all just don't know what's happening.
Right.
So you not necessarily, because I think from a woman's perspective, we just think y'all out here wild and you don't care about our feelings, and it's not. You just don't know yourself.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And you know what? And I love my ex-husband. Today, today's his birthday. I called him and wished him happy birthday and everything. And I absolutely love that man. We were just kids. We had no idea. And I tell people all the time, because I help a lot of married people and single people. I really do. This is my pain really has become my purpose. But it's not that he was bad or I was bad. We were just bad for each other.
Right.
We were a train wreck. If I knew what I knew now, I could probably have even preserved even that situation. But I didn't handle it the best way either. I was young. Right. Now I ain't arguing with nobody. Okay, you right, bye. Right. I don't have an iota of energy to waste.
If you don't want to be there, boom. How hard is it for her to keep you there? Because women have a hard time with this. We think, because what ends up happening is you come over that one night and you have sex with them, and then you ghost them for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they holding on by a thread, and you come back and love bomb them again.
Love bomb. Come on.
When you don't want to be there, how hard is it for them to keep you there? Even if if this was the best sex you ever had, like it put Boom's dreads straight up in the air. How hard would it be? Because women need to know this. Women think that they sex is gonna be they milkshake.
There's something I can do.
In the yard. Yeah,
there's something. Work hard. I'm gonna try everything. I'm gonna cook more. I'm gonna clean more. Yeah. I'm gonna flip it upside down. We could add a partner if you want. Well, what's your fantasy?
Right. How hard is that though, Boom, to keep you if you don't want to be kept?
I once I make a decision, man, that's that, So it's a done deal. I don't. It doesn't matter.
You might still go back. Eat your favorite cookie from the jar, but you ain't gonna stay if you don't want to be there.
No,
and they can tell in your interaction. They can really tell in your interaction.
Right.
What you don't want dies. When you start seeing that he's not communicating, he responding with one word answers. He's unavailable all the time. Like, bro, you used to come over after work every day. All of a sudden,
because men are very routine in most cases.
Very routine. Very routine.
So, when that routine.
I watch my father. Very routine. I pretty much know his whole life schedule. Men are routine. So when they deviate from the routine, you're like, something.
Text today on lunch, huh?
Yep.
Right.
It starts like there. That's how it starts.
So women.
No, it's not all the time.
Women have to watch the signs.
He could have had a meeting that day, so we're not gonna go with a one-time event.
It's not all bad, but once that that schedule is interfered with, we're very.
And I think for us women, when a man shows you he doesn't want to be with you anymore, pick up the pieces of don't you forget to go and pick up all of your feelings. Pick them up and go. Because no need to stay somewhere where he doesn't want you. He has moved on, because 9 times out of 10, before you leave physically, you're already gone mentally.
Right.
So he's gone, and you still want to keep him near through whatever means you're trying to do to keep him. It's okay.
Are you a communicator, Boom, though, when you're over it?
Huge.
Okay.
Huge. More now than I, when I was doing my thing. No, I was passive aggressive.
Okay.
Because I was doing my thing. Got so, being exclusive, really exclusive.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm huge on communication because that's what I do. I think that's one of my strong suits.
Got you. Right.
You know, with in my friendships.
Got you.
So I communicate well with you guys. I communicate well with my friends. Like so I definitely yeah. And now that I'm in touch with I know me more, and what? Yeah, I'm really good at. Yeah, I want to communicate.
And
Mhm.
if for both of you, if your partner isn't a communicator, how difficult is that for you?
I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with it. Because I don't. My expectation is not for everybody to meet me in all those ways. You get what I'm saying?
No, I
But
mean like if 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 your partner is on some, she's not happy about something, but she's not a great communicator about it. So like, is that difficult for you because you are very open about like, I ain't feeling that, or I do like that? If she's not as open, how do you
oh yeah,
feel?
that's different. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
That's very, very difficult for a communicating guy like myself.
got you. Because you more like, tell me
Very,
what you feel in me, and let's go from there.
because I want it all. I don't only want to hear that you love me. I want to see it.
Mm,
I need you to tell me.
mm,
I want to feel it. You get what I'm saying? It's very, very rounded. So with that,
got you.
you know what I
Yep.
mean?
Got you.
Me too. My prophetic thing is really crazy. I have had to tell guys, don't wait until the Lord has to show me something or tell me something that you're thinking when you could have very easily just talked to me. Because I'm like, out the blue, the Lord will give me something, a dream, a thought, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, is this what you're feeling? Or do you? And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, come on now. Like that kind of stuff ticks me off, honestly.
That's intimidating though. You're intimidating.
Yeah.
I've been told that I'm intimidating too. Like they're
Yeah.
like, whoa, like
Because we're sure of who we are.
yeah, they're like, yo, I didn't even know you could talk like that. Like what?
Yup, yup,
That's
yup. I
intimidating.
can
Like
come off
people are
as silly,
intimidated by
and
that.
people don't know what to get from me. They're like, "You're a blonde. You wear." They don't know what to think of me.
Yeah,
A lot of people. So when I get to talking, they're like, "Oh my God, you're
right.
really intelligent and you're
Yeah.
spiritual." Very,
They
yeah.
think I'm silly. They think I'm a
They
goofball
think we
all the
so
time.
silly, joking
Yeah.
all
So
the
it's like,
time.
yo, I'm like, yo, nah, boom, 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 boom. They're like, I didn't even know
Well,
Yep,
you could. Like,
I
yeah,
think that comes from, because I'm a victim of that too. People think they know you.
yep.
They think they know you, and they don't know you at all.
They have
They know your
our
persona. They know who they see in church. They have
they know
never
who they
had.
think.
Yeah, yeah,
who they think.
yeah.
It's
And
crazy
and
because
more than likely,
all of our Facebook personas are very silly and lighthearted,
right.
very
And and
lighthearted. And I think
and
that
it's
balances out who we really are. Because
Mhm.
who I am, I said somebody on Boom's post, I said,
Transparent, really.
read this in Boom's voice. Don't read this like I have an attitude. I don't have an attitude. I'm silly. I'm class clown. I got class clown.
Right.
I'm really
Right.
silly.
Right.
But they don't know you. When people think they have you figured out and they have no
And they
idea.
think they know you through the people that have been in ministry with you, have been close to you.
Right.
And I'm like,
No,
no,
I am
get out.
I'm extremely layered.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm extremely layered.
yeah, and don't get it twisted, because you really don't. You cannot do that.
You can't. Even the people we church with, they see you for what, 2 hours once a week, twice a week, and you can't talk in church. Ain't like I'm like, ain't not, you know what I mean? So you don't really, they don't know me. They think they have me figured out. I'm here for a certain reason, and then I have my life and my friends that I deal with, like on a for real level. You know?
I guess based on me being a musician, based on my gift, people some I was told that boom, you have this candid ability to make because of what you do with your music ministry, you have this candid ability to make people feel like they're your best friend.
Mm.
And you don't know them people from Adam.
That's true.
And I never noticed that until I was
Yeah.
told that because I talk with everybody.
Everybody.
But because you talk
Everybody.
with everybody, they feel like they know you. And I'm like, I'm really not saying nothing to you.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm not really, you know what I mean? I'm not really giving you
You
know what I'm
they,
saying?
you
But
you like I'm
yeah,
giving you all
I'm just
surface,
having a
and you
conversation.
think
Yeah,
I'm your
this is
best friend.
yeah. And you say, boom, you have that candid ability. You know what I'm saying? You make people feel like they're your best friend. And and I'm like, I don't know those people's names half of the time.
No.
I'm speaking and and I'm talking and
Yep,
and it's no problem because that's my personality and that's who I am.
yep.
So I was like, wow, my kids be like that. Everybody know you, them boom boom kids.
That's true.
They
That's kind of true. That everybody do
yeah.
know boom boom.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? But
It's
yeah,
good though.
you know definitely been told that. So
Um, I was going to do a section of the show in Boom's honor call, use a sick nigga. And I
Yes.
actually have pulled up some articles.
Some boomable quotes.
But I ain't gonna go into it because it's already 10 o'clock and we about to get off of here.
Yes.
But I did see one that I said, now this is sick nigga right here.
What was it?
It said this man recorded himself murdering his 94-year-old grandfather in the woods of West Virginia and sent the video to members of his family. Now
That's a sick nigga.
That's some sick nigga S. That's some sick nigga S. That's some sick nigga S. He's a sick nigga for that.
oh God.
Yeah. That's some sick nigga S for real.
He lost
Jesus.
it. And it is late in the night, so the next time we come on, I'm gonna be prepared for the part of the show that said use a sick nigga.
You a sick nigga. That was good.
That's some sick
That
nigga
was
S.
That's killed
For
him. Sent
sure.
the video like I did it.
And sent the video. All right, guys. Any last words that we did not bring up or something that was on your mind? We're gonna wrap this up. But I want to thank you guys for coming on. Definitely to clarify some things for the people of God. Anything that comes to mind that we did not cover?
No, but I just wanted to let the females know that the musicians and the guys, they do talk and they have their female friends that they don't just talk about it amongst themselves. They share it with their sisters. And so
And
we know what y'all doing. So half the time we looking at y'all like you crazy. You think it's because we want you, because we want your man or what. It ain't that. We looking at you like you's a sick nigga.
Dynamic helps too. The fact that they think you like us, that gets us that monkey fast too.
Yeah.
That was real. That was real dope. How that just came out because it's true.
I see, girls. I'm with Gershom all the time.
What?
And girls get extra feely and touchy when I'm around.
Because they think you, Because they think you got to up on them, yeah.
If I wanted you, sir, and they was displaying this kind of behavior, it would be a whole nother T is talking.
Honey, listen.
Because don't disrespect me ever.
See?
Nope. Right.
See?
Don't do that. Don't do that. I love the Lord and I won't take it back. But I will get you together.
I will get you together.
All right.
I know the saints saw a different side of me, but again, that's because people don't think
we was pretty good tonight. I thought we was pretty good, Ray. We could really turn it up. I thought we was really good.
That's how I'm able to have a boom in my life and be because I'm all things to everybody. I've been there, done that. I can help y'all out. So if you stop being resentful and funny acting towards people, you'd be surprised who you can have as a friend. We some real people.
Man,
they don't come no realer than us. Us three up here.
I'm good people.
We good people. T is amazing. She posts some real crazy stuff. That's because she know what it is. Get to learn, get to know people. Like, if we let you in our world, like, come on. We some good people.
I met T and she's never stopped being my friend. I was a young kid.
And I'm the same.
Raven, she never stopped
being my friend. I was telling Raven that I'm always the same. Stop it.
Always.
All these
Always
the
people with
same.
this bad press. Shut up. You don't know me.
They love me through my whoredom and everything.
Come on here.
Yeah.
These are my
Yeah.
girls.
Gotta find
You know
your
what I'm saying?
I love this evolution. Y'all, I hope we can do this together. I hope we can have people there with us, like for real. Like, I mean, just to feel the energy of everybody, because I think this is so necessary. We could talk about other things, but this sexuality and the Pentecostal, apostolic, Baptist world, it's necessary.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Y'all hold on. Let me put them out. Thank y'all for watching another session of Tears Talk. Like, share, subscribe, tell friends and enemies. We'll be back next week for another session. All right.
Oh, Tix, you have my food? I'm starving. Where you at? It's right here.